Where's the sound trip ever taken?
Hi there. We'd just like to let you know that this show is sponsored by W Energy. W Energy, the sugarless, all natural energy drink that you should be going and buying and using code Oddcast to help save yourself 10% off your next order. So go on over to W.com and use that code. Now on with the show.
Boss, you only live till you got a head from a vampire.
Not anymore.
So you're trying to tell me that all these deaths are accidental? Must think we're all idiots here or something.
Oh, really?
Hello, Internet and people that are watching. Thank you for tuning in. This week, we have a pretty fun movie. We're going to end out our foreign horror film for Oddtober, and we've got one here that has gotten recognized by other people as a very good movie. I've seen it a few times. It's a pretty fun one. This one is When Evil Lurks. Get on our plane. We're going down to Argentina for this one. So this one's, it's funny because I realized doing this, we did 2 Asian horror films, and then we're ending on 2 Spanish horror films. So, it's an interesting way this went about here.
Yeah.
With that as well, there is a character in this movie that I had to look up exactly how you'd pronounce his name, because watching the movie, whenever they said it, they said it so quickly, I was like, I didn't catch how you actually pronounce that. There's apparently a few different ways it's said, so forgive me, folks, but when I get to it, I'll get to
the name Jimmy confused you? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was Himmy, or maybe Limmy. Jay, it confuses me.
Yeah.
So hi everyone, Jokey Pants back, Bad Taste, and of course I'm joined by Cerebral Paul. It's my usual host, except for a few occasions. Boy, this movie, folks. This is a good movie, but it is a movie that don't go into it thinking that it'll have anything that like a horror movie you think would, like a final girl or happy endings or anything that makes you feel like these people are going to be all right.
I don't think any of the movies we've covered for this sequence of movies that we've done have had happy endings. I don't think one of them has.
No, they have not. That's something with all the foreign horror films is other countries don't do happy endings with the horror movies. They end with everyone dies.
They don't pull back. It's like it's like the original Grimm's fairy tales where not everybody lives happy ever after. No, somebody gets eaten at some point. Okay,
things don't go well. Evil Lurks is from 2023. Right off the bat, I just want to say, there's another YouTube channel that they gave this a bunch of awards, which it very much deserved to be recognized. And I just wanted to say, if you know the channel Dead Meat, which I hope you would, because love those guys, love what they do. In 2023, when this movie came out, they gave it a bunch for like special effects, good story. They talked to the director and whatnot. And I just wanted to say that they very much earned the awards that they gave it, because this movie is fucking fantastic. I love this thing. So let's get into it. So the writer-director for this is Damien Rugna. You may be saying, do you have any idea what this movie was based on? Like what it came from? And in fact, dear viewers, I do actually. The idea for this movie, which is really like a demon possession movie, all came from about because he grew up in the small, like, backwater kind of places of Argentina. And he had talked about that farms, whenever things with a pesticide or something happen and villages would get poisoned, that the government would typically be like, it's not really our problem, you'll figure it out. So it spun this idea in his head of, if evils like this were to spawn up in a small place, how it could fester, grow, and become a bigger problem because no one would want to pay attention to it. Which honestly works in this movie really fucking well. This movie goes so dark so quickly. Things go horribly wrong.
Again, I think every movie we've talked about this month has been one that goes from 0 to, oh my God, in the flash of an eye. Yeah.
It really does. And yes. I'm not going to give a warning on this one like I did like I did the movie
last
that
couple.
By the time you're seeing this movie that just came out, this one, I will say this one could definitely get uncomfortable in some parts, depending on how you feel about certain things. But it is.
You
such
might want
a
to
fun
repeat
time.
that. At least on my end, you froze. I don't know if the stream actually froze, but you froze and you stopped talking for a second.
I think it picked up on my end.
Okay.
I think so, at least from what I'm seeing here.
Well, I warned you, so when you go to edit it and you got this frozen spot that you can't make out, then
That's fair.
Dude, I want in typeface in letters that Paul warned me about this, and
See, fun fact. I have it going. I have the thing here to get me and Paul in the same room, but unlike my other co-host who does record it all through here, I use my own thing to record it because I'm not paying to be able to record through this. My other co-host does for other things, and he just lets us use it, which just helps me.
Well, you have to be different when you do OnlyFans. It just. Oh wait.
That explains why you get so many Transformers. That explains so much. So anyway, so also in this towards the beginning of this movie, there's a whole scene with a goat and a goat like on a farm. There is a fun little thing here of the goat from the scene. Basically, the director ended up causing this goat to live longer, as the whole day of shooting that they took for the goats was a pain in the ass because, quote, the goats were untrainable and seriously crazy. They just kind of did whatever they wanted, which made our 10-hour shoot day almost impossible.
Okay, let me tell you, as somebody who grew up kind of in the country, you can't train a goat, okay? And they will do
really
whatever
can't.
they want, whatever they want.
Yes, they will. We had a goat for some of our horses because one of the horses really appreciated having the goat, but the goat was very much, it did whatever it wanted, and you just kind of had to work around him. Also, folks, so we talk about on this show every time at the end to always follow the rules and do things. This movie has its own rules, so I don't have to tell you what rules to follow. This one just tells you. Rule number 1. Do not use electricity, for the shadows draw the evil in. Rule number 2. Stay away from all animals. Rule number 3. Do not harm anyone or thing. Number 4. Take nothing, as anything you take will draw the evil to you. Number 5. Never say the devil's name. This draws them to you. Number 6. Never use guns, for you will also die. And number 7. The most important rule. Do not fear death, for the evil shall use your fear. Pretty fun, right? Let me tell you, in the situations these people end up in, you're gonna fear death, so it's understandable why everyone kind of starts getting possessed, because there's no way in shit you're not. So, folks, buckle up, sit down, prepare yourself, turn off all the lights, put on some candles, get ready as we step in to When Evil Lurks, a fantastic Argentinian horror movie. Actually, before we get into that, how you, since you've seen this, how did you feel about this movie overall? Before we fully get into this here.
Oh, I thought it was awesome. I thought
Okay, I was about to say,
and you say that the scene with the goat is toward the beginning. No. This is how the movie opens. Okay.
I mean, basically,
this is like opening credit scene, and then here we are. Okay. Everything
So
looks
close.
casual and serene and quiet and calm. Yeah.
So to open this movie, we meet our two brothers who are going to be our main people of this movie. Pedro and Jimmy. Pretty easy to follow there, folks. But Pedro and Jimmy are kind of just going through a nightly routine. You know, like you do dishes. One of the brothers is just kind of doing his own thing by the fireplace. But suddenly, there are a bunch of gunshots outside. And they can't figure out. They start asking themselves, is that on our property or is that somewhere else? And Pedro goes, no, that sounds like it's outside of our property. And they look out the window. He's like, see, it's on the tree line. It looks like it's in the trees. Not quite our property. Quote here, I heard 3 shots, then a stop, then 2 more. That's not hunters. It's not poachers. That wasn't a rifle. That was a revolver. They grab their shotgun. They check the outside. They do the one smart thing of like just making sure there's not someone trying to break into their house. They step outside and just make sure. It's like, okay, yeah, no, they're not here on our property. We'll wait until the morning when there's light and we can actually see, and we'll go see what that was. If only they had just gone and seen what this was, boy, they probably could have avoided like this entire series of events that's going to happen.
But it would have been a really, really short movie. It would have
been a very short movie, but for these poor men, it might have just saved them like all the trouble they are about to get into. Because the next day they do head out. They take their 2 dogs, and they kind of set them off to go track down whatever might have happened. And, oh boy. They talk about they haven't heard from Ruiz, who's the property owner of like all the land that they're on where they live. They start talking about like, do you think it might have been him? Do you think someone was like trying to do something on his property? But the dogs lead them to a spot in the woods where there's a body cut in half. And they're like, well, there was a big puma in the area. Think this might be Ruiz? He said he was going to go hunting because it killed a couple of his goats. And Pedro looks over the body and he's like, no, this man was cut in half by something sharp. This was not an animal. I was going to say,
this is another one of them scenes that falls into, always in my head, I go back to Jaws with, this was no shark attack, when you look at it, they say, oh, it might be a bear. No. Bears don't do that shit, dude. No.
See, where they all made the mistake, this was actually done by a graboid, and what they needed to do was call Burt Gummers.
Yeah, that's right. Or his wife. Reba could kick their ass, too. She'll pull out that elephant gun,
People always forget that Reba's in that first movie. Blows people's
I think
minds.
that was my favorite part of that movie when I saw Reba pull out that elephant gun. Yeah. Blam! Okay, well, yeah.
Fucking yeah, James. Next to the body, they also find, as I put, what looks like a. I forgot to look up the name of the actual equipment, but Looks like the kind of kit that you'd use for like star mapping and so on and so forth.
A cartographer's kit.
Basically.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that. They don't really know what to make of it. But they kind of toss that aside, and they're like, they find his notebook, and they're going through that. They find that he has a map, and they're like, well, he was headed up to Maria Elena's house. I don't really know why he was headed up there. She just kind of, she's like basically, like, she's a poor person. I don't know what he would have wanted to do with her. She doesn't really do anything. That's strange. So they head up the hill, and they get
Lonely
to her house.
guy, lonely girl. What do you think he wants to do?
You know what? I don't think anyone went in the gutter that way. All right, sir.
They want to play Parcheesi.
Yeah. Was he bringing his Scrabble board inside of his little suitcase? But once they get there, they are informed that he was coming for her son, and they go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "My son Uriel is not feeling well, and he was coming to kill him," which immediately raises red flags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just get this. I feel fine. Okay, just you were asking me how I was feeling this week. I'm good. Okay, no reason to come kill me. No reason to come kill me this week.
Gotta make sure. This is where Pedro and Jimmy make their first mistake. Because hearing that, basically Maria Elena tells them, like, yeah, my son is rotted and possessed, and I needed the man to come and kill him to cleanse my home. And the brothers go, yeah, okay, what is he, just sick? Whatever, lady. They make the mistake of going inside, which leads to all of their problems throughout this entire movie. If they had just not done that, they would have been okay. God, Uriel's body's so fucking gross. He's so fucking disgusting. Kudos to them for the makeup and effect work on this dude, because it is so fucking disgusting. He's just super bloated. He's got like welts and fucking boils all over his body. He's spitting out green ectoplasms type shit. Disgustingly disgusting. If you've ever seen Blade, you remember the big old fat vampire that they tried burning, he kind of looks like that, but even grosser, which is an accomplishment in some way.
So this tells you, in 2023, they had Taco Bell in Argentina.
Yeah, he was the first victim of Taco Bell. But it's revealed that Uriel has been possessed and rotting for a year, and that the family has tried to call out to get help, and that no one had come. And they tell them about, well, we found a guy cut in half down the hill when he had a bunch of stuff with him. And they go, that must have been the cleaner. That's unfortunate. Keep in mind that they say he's been like this for a year, and no one has been out until now to try to do anything. It's kind of an important plot point for later. So the brothers go from there, and they head off. They go to the police station. And they're like, we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out why they didn't send anybody. The hell's going on here? This isn't normal. This is where we learn that, to backtrack, the brothers kind of mentioned that they're not the most well-liked people. Jimmy brings up that Ruiz doesn't like them, and Pedro clarifies, he's like, no, he doesn't like you, because you're a bit of a smartass at times. He doesn't like you. But getting to the police station, the police fucking hate Pedro. And it's alluded that he's basically the town drunk. And it's like, no, you're just way intoxicated. There's no rotting, possessed one. Every time we get a report about this out in the middle of nowhere like this, it's always fake. So, go home, you fucking drunk. It's not the case. So,
I guess none of them had their iPhone with them and could take a picture of the bloating corpse.
You know what? That's actually. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Actually, I don't think that either of those two have phones. Cause
no, I
we'll
don't
see there's other people
seeing,
that do. But anyway, this is where they clarify that the person who was sent was a cleanser, which is meant to clear out people who are possessed and rotted, whatnot. But that there's protocols that have to be followed, and that they're going to have to contact the public health board, and then they'll go from there of sending whoever they're going to send. And Pedro tries arguing that he'll just call the mayor, and if they're not going to do it, he'll fucking do it. Just let him call, give him the number, and he'll call right now. And it doesn't go well. They just send him home telling him he's too drunk. And if it is the case, they'll figure it out. Now,
see, I hate to say it. That's another thing. You're too drunk. I'll be like, breathalyze me right now. Right now. That's why sometimes I watch these movies and I don't understand why they don't. When they start saying that, go, hey, I'll do whatever you want right now. You can test me. Because a lot of these movies, we don't believe you because of X, Y, Z, and it could easily be proven otherwise. It's like,
it could. You're right. They could have.
But they don't. Again, that would have made it a really short movie. But
well,
I got to talk to some. I got to say this. I got to talk to some of my filmmaker friends. I would love to do a short where they open it up and something really, and they do everything right, and the movie ends in like 10 minutes, and it just, it's like.
We can do. There's something that could be done there.
I think that would be fun, and I think it would do well on the circuit. Just for fun. Holy crap! They didn't do any of the tropes, and everybody listened and did what they were supposed to do. And
shortest movie ever.
Yeah. With maybe one little horrifyingly gross blood scene in there somewhere, but they solve it really quick. Damien Leone, if you're watching, get in touch with me. Yeah.
It should have done that. that Friday the 13th short thing they did. That they should have just done that.
That could have been a lot shorter. Yeah.
It should have been, because it could have been better. Oh man, the lake brought me back to life. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess I'll just kill Jason. Something. Sorry, folks. I can't get off the sweet revenge thing. That thing pissed me off so fucking much. Anyway, so back to this movie. We cut over to Ruiz on his farm, and Jimmy and Pedro were explaining to him what just happened at the police station, what happened at Elena's house. Yeah, shit's about to go sideways, and Ruiz explains that if they haven't been doing anything and it is truly what they say it is, that it's being done on purpose because the state has been trying to buy his property for some time now, and he's refused to sell them anything. So in his mind, it is they have allowed a rotted one to be here and be possessed the way it has because it makes the land turn and become bad. And if it does that, then everyone will have to leave, and they'll be able to buy it at a very cheap price. So he goes, they probably sent the cleanser so late now, because by this point they assume we'll all be leaving knowing it's there, and they'll be able to just come in and buy it for cheap and scare us off. But this is my land. I won't be taken advantage of.
Apparently, we've gone back to 12th century Argentina.
Well, it's one of those things where well,
I mean, the fact that because it sounds like one of those old, those old tales that you would hear because
it does, doesn't it?
Before they had science that could explain anything, everything had a supernatural or kind of suspicious cause. It must be that little witchy woman down the street casting spells.
Yeah, that's something with this world. the world that this takes place. They will bring it up much later into the movie. But this is something that everyone in this world fucking fears, is a rotted one being anywhere near you and yours. Yeah, demons are just a thing in this universe where, like, people get possessed and this kind of shit happens. It doesn't happen very often anymore. As everybody's kind of said in the opening to this here, is that most cases are fake. There are real cases, but most of them end up being hoaxes. Because people just kind of want to scare people and rake in cash, yada yada. However, Ruiz does mention here that his 4 dogs have up and run away for no reason, and he doesn't know why. And he says to them, they say that it makes the animals crazy first, before it starts infecting the others. The brothers say, I think they basically fall right into the trap that's being laid here, which is, I think we should just say fuck it and move. I mean, if the land's already turning sour anyway and the animals are kind of going crazy, I don't know, maybe we should just leave. And Ruiz tells them, hell no. This is my fucking land. I'm going to go take care of this. Fun fact.
By the way, I'm on Jimmy's side on this. Oh, shit. Let's get up and let's go.
In the grand scheme of everything that happens, yes, they just should have done that. They should never have done anything else. They should have 100% just left that. Let's right sell it to some there.
Sell it to some sucker, and it's their problem, and we're out of here. Yeah.
Yes. So that night, Ruiz is having dinner with his wife, and he can't get. He's real antsy. You can see the way he's acting. Like he can't let this slide. So what does he do? He drives over to Elena's house with his shotgun. And he goes, I'm going to take care of this shit myself. It'd be damned if there's going to be a rotted one here on my property. And yeah, this whole thing, this whole sequence, this whole scene here, he breaks down the door, he rushes in, goes right up into Uriel's room, and is immediately hit by the stench. Because it is a rotting fucking body, so it smells horrible.
In Argentina, which means it's hot and sticky.
Correct.
Nasty.
He's gonna make everything worse, folks. Like, from here on out, Ruiz makes everything that could be bad go bad. But when he gets up to Uriel fucking taunts the shit out of him. About how he's lesser of a man, and go ahead and kill me. The scene, the sequence of lines at the end of this scene here, basically Ruiz is gonna kill him, but he's kind of hesitant because he knows how the rules go. He kind of understands. And everyone's pleading with him like, no, you're going to make it worse if you kill him. Don't kill him. You're not a professional. There's a certain way to do it. And Uriel tells him, go ahead and kill me, because the minute I'm released, you're going to be the first person I come for. And hey, by the way, your wife's pregnant? I'm going to possess that baby first, after I kill you, just so you're aware. Like, everything you hold dear is going to become mine. So go ahead, pull the trigger. He doesn't.
Really, he's breaking like two rules right there. He's using the gun, and he's the whole thing, and he's doing harm.
Yes.
And,
everything the rules say not to do, he's just straight up doing. Fun fact: he doesn't do this. He goes back. He sits in his truck. Cut to the next morning. The wife and the 2 brothers show up, and they're like, "Please tell me you didn't do it. I think you did." And he's just like, "No, I didn't. I couldn't do it." They're like, "Oh, thank God." But then Ruiz makes another mistake anyway. And Ruiz tells them, we're going to move him. We're going to take him out of his house here. We're just going to take him a few hours away, and it'll be somebody else's problem.
I love the idea of that.
Such an asshole. It's just... Fun fact, that's not how this works, as we will find as this movie goes
Guatemala's
on.
this guy. I hear Guatemala's nice this time of year. You know, it's like
It's God, this whole sequence of them moving the body, some of the
gross.
grossest shit.
It's
Amazing special effects work on them to like his body's just oozing shit all over the place. The blankets are ripping when they try
By the
to
way,
move
for those who've never watched this movie, if you want an idea of the size and the girth of this mess, if you've ever watched Monty Python's Life or Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, and the Mr. Creosote sequence, the big dude who just one more thin small wafer and he explodes all over like that. Okay.
Yes. That's actually a really good description. Yes. Just imagine that. So yeah, they do manage to move him. They drop him twice. Thank God he doesn't like pop or anything of that nature.
Which
thank God for that.
when I was watching it, I was waiting for that because the textures they use, it looks like he's gonna burst any second. I mean, it's like
yes, he looks like an
like
overfilled water balloon.
The textures like the versions of the Blob. If you ever seen those movies, same idea. There's no real solid to him. He's just a roly-poly piece of goo. He's just
yeah. He's so fucking gross.
And all that goo is evil, by the way. That's how they explain it. That's basically all that nasty, evil, nasty shit.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing of like. So this is another thing. Fun fact for Jokey Pants here. I don't typically watch a whole lot of demon and ghost movies. For whatever reason, for me they don't typically do it. I know there's gonna be people out there that are like, how dare you, blah 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 blah. I just they don't do it for me. I've never encountered a ghost myself, so I don't have any like real world whatever fascinations or like curiosities. I've never experienced anything. So ghost movies, there's like a handful of them that I'm okay with. Same thing for demon movies. This is one of the few where I'm like, oh no, I'm actually okay with this one. Like, it's not stupid. Like, I can actually get into it. Unlike any of, like, seems like the newest Exorcist movies they've tried to put out, where I kind of give up on them because I'm like, this is kind of dumb. Sorry, folks, but this is kind of dumb.
The only good one is the original with Linda Blair.
Yeah.
And Ellen Burstyn.
But yeah, they throw him in a truck. They drive Uriel away. While they're driving away, they talk about, we'll take him just a few hours, and we'll dump the body. We'll be perfectly fine. This will solve our problems, because it'll just be someone else's issue. We won't have to deal with it anymore. As they're driving, though, these morons. They almost hit a kid on a bike, and they have to swerve. And they go, wow, that was crazy. Pay attention to this. There are things in this movie that happen that are like this, that seem like an accident. They are not accidents. This is one of those things that's kind of like, if you put a pin in it, come back to it by the end of the movie with other things that happen. Very much the demon is influencing things that are happening. And this is a case of that. Yeah. It knows it's being moved. It doesn't want to be moved. So it's kind of influencing how some things are going to go here. So they do that. They get up to where they want to go. And they go to dump him. And oh no, Uriel's not in the back all of a sudden. Suddenly he's missing. And they go, well, he must have come out when we were swerving for that kid. Should we go back and get him? Ruiz looks at the brothers and goes, how far back was that? I don't know, maybe 20 minutes? Good enough. He's far enough away from my land. It's whoever finds him problem now. I don't care.
Think about that. They didn't notice for 20 minutes that the blob was missing. Okay.
Yeah. So, cut to that night. Boy, oh boy. Jimmy starts seeing shadows, kind of doing some weird things. Pedro's just trying to forget the whole thing ever happened. And we see that Ruiz and his wife are having a rather tense dinner as a storm rolls in. And they're like, huh, that's a pretty bad storm, huh? Well, things go from bad to worse. Because by the next morning, Ruiz's wife comes running in and she's complaining about the goat. There's something wrong with this goat. It's not normal. So Ruiz runs out because in his mind he immediately knows. He knows he fucked up. He shouts at the goat, tells it to go away. He makes the mistake of grabbing his shotgun and shoots it. All the goats flee. The goat that stays, before we get into what happens to this goat here, the farmer had joked with the director was going to be a nice barbecue dinner. And the director had been like, please don't kill the goat. Like, look, I get you want to kill it for, like, eating whatever, but, like, just don't do it while we're here. Like, come on, man. Because this movie did well, a year after this movie came out, he got a text. Basically, he got a whole bunch of pictures. And he goes, yeah, apparently because we made this goat famous, he let it live and it had its own babies. So about a year later, I got pictures of the goat with all its babies. And it made me feel good because I say that goat got another year of life because we used it in a movie.
And the farmer got a whole year of goat meat. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So back to this. Ruiz starts yelling at the goat. The goat is possessed. It's being influenced by the evil on the land. The goat walks up to him, puts its head to the shotgun, and you're like, as you're watching, you're going, oh man, the goat wants him to kill it. That's probably not a good sign. No, it's not, because then the goat purposely like yaks out and startles Ruiz, so he fires the gun and kills it. Behind him, his wife had been telling him, don't do this. You will condemn both of us. You know you can't kill it with a firearm. Don't do it. She had grabbed an axe. In my mind, it's because she wanted him to, it's like, if you're going to kill it, at least do it without a firearm because you'll doom us. So he fires. The goat dies. Immediately, the wife chops him in the fucking face. Just kills him immediately. And
I said no. No.
But to make this an even more fucked up scene, she whacks herself in the face like 5 times with this fucking axe before she falls over dead. It's so brutal. Just absolutely brutal, man. Which calls back to exactly what Uriel told him. Is like, I'm going to come after you first, so you better not fuck up. It's like, you're going to be the first one I come after. And it held true to that promise. He moved it so that it came after him first. So he should have listened and left it alone. Now we cut back. Also, this movie has a thing where like it just hard black cuts and it'll go to the next scene. So that's something to keep in mind when you watch this. It might throw you off. Threw me off the first time I watched it. Because then we cut back to the brothers and it's that night. And the younger son from Elena's shows up to their house. And the guys are like, what are you doing here? You know, shouldn't you be home? And he talks about how his mom disappeared. He doesn't know where she went. And he wants to stay because he's scared. Jimmy remembers that he has a revolver. He goes, he's armed. So they make him give him the gun. And they're like, you can stay in the saddle barn for at least the night. But by the morning, I need you to be out of here. He's like, okay, whatever, fine. As he walks away, he tells them, hey, by the way, don't use electric lights. The shadows draw the evil. So don't do that. And they kind of toss and shrug it off as like, yeah, okay. Jimmy, I think, pays attention to that more because right before the kid showed up, he did see the shadows start to like enlarge and dance on the wall. So Jimmy's a little more like, maybe he's onto something because, yeah, I saw some weird shit right before he came in. The next morning, they leave for town because the kid also tells them that he found Ruiz, and Ruiz is dead. His wife is also dead. Doesn't know what happened, just they're dead. So the brothers freak out. In the morning, Pedro tells him, don't bring any clothes, don't bring anything at all. We're just going to leave, because if Ruiz is dead, shit has already hit the fan. We need to just get out of here, drop everything. One of the brothers doesn't really follow that all that well. But hey, what do you do? So yeah, they head to town. They're going to go get paid. They're going to go get the family that they have. They show up at Pedro's ex-wife's house. And we get introduced to Leo, who's from the way that they talk about it, basically the dude that his wife cheated on him with and then left him for. There's a bit of backstory about Pedro that they breadcrumb in. They don't really tell you exactly what happened, but they give you the general idea of things that had happened. So he gets in there. This is Pedro's mistake. Everything that happens in this fucking bit of sequence is entirely Pedro's mistake because he does not do what he should have done. But Pedro gets inside, immediately starts stripping, and tells him he needs new clothes, everyone needs to pack a bag, they need to leave. The mistake that Pedro makes is he did not do this outside. And I get it, public nudity, whatever. However, strips off his clothes, they have a dog. They have a very large mastiff who begins to sniff those clothes very, very intensely, and nobody's paying attention. Pedro burns said clothes, which is the only smart thing he does. However, again, should have done that outside of the fucking house. Because now everyone starts arguing because the ex-wife is like, you're not supposed to be here. You're crazy. What, are you drunk again? This is ridiculous. Call the police. It's a whole back and forth. This is a scene that's hard for me. I'll be completely honest. This one specific scene, I honestly had to look away and just look at my notebook and write my notes because I knew what was coming, and I was like, this made me just it gets under my skin because I grew up with big dogs.
See, that's where we're different. Yeah, these scenes and stuff make you oogie out. Me, I'm like, let's get a closer look.
See,
I hope this is good.
See now, like, this is where I'm weird, because like I watch, like God, like watching all the other ones, I didn't have to do any of that with any of it. Like there were times where I was like, oh God, but I kept watching. This specific scene, I just for some reason I can't. There's something in my brain that just can't. I don't know why. It makes me wince, and I have to look away. Right. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I grew up with dogs and I had almost something like that happen, so it gets to me a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, because everyone's arguing, nobody's fucking paying attention. The kids are with the dog. The brother Santino, he's like, we got to get a bag. Dad said we're going somewhere. I don't know. Vicky, the little girl, gets viciously fucking attacked by the dog because the dog sniffed the clothes, which were covered in the evil, and it has now influenced the dog. And when I say brutally attacks this girl, Jesus fucking Christ. This thing latches onto her face, drags her across the room, and then proceeds to ragdoll the shit out of her.
Yep.
Leo, the dad is because the ex-wife had a daughter with him, so Vicky's his daughter. He comes into the room, and the little brother's like, he's hurting her. He's hurting Vicky, and they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, because then the dog comes bursting out from under the kitchen table with her head just firmly in his mouth, and he drags her out the front door, and off he goes. Just, Hooch is on the run. Turner's dead, and Hooch is a fucking murderer. So this is where we're at now. That's a deep cut reference for some of you. Leo immediately grabs his gun, and Pedro tries to tell him, don't use guns. You can't use gunpowder. I understand how you feel. It's your daughter. I get it. You can't use gunpowder. Anything but that, man. And Leo tells him he's fucking crazy. And he runs off to go find his daughter, which I understand. It's your kid. But in this world where this is... In a world where demon possession and rotted ones, all of this is like a canonical, people know it's a thing. It's a rare thing, but it is a thing. You think someone would have a little bit more caution of like, my dog kind of acted like it never fucking has ever before. And like, literally his eyes looked evil as shit. So like, maybe I should listen to him.
You would think. I mean, seriously, you're right.
You would think. But he doesn't. Pedro goes running after him, can't find him. He does find some police, and he tells them what happened. And then he hears the gunshot. And he dreads that it is what he thinks it is. So he runs up, sees the truck, and then he sees Leo. Doesn't even say anything. He just walks away, because he knows immediately that Leo's done for. Leo has fucked up. As Leo pulls the trigger again and kills the dog, and Pedro's walked away. Pedro gets back to the house, and he's met with a surprise that Vicky's there. Vicky's perfectly fine, guys. The dog didn't hurt her at all. It's all an illusion. Yeah. She's fine. Oh. Pedro, being a smart man once again, grabs his son and his other son. His oldest son is his older son is the name that I had to look up how you'd pronounce it, and there's like 3 different ways you could say this, which already drives me fucking insane. Because it's like, well, which one? And again, as I watched this, I tried to hear him say it. I didn't catch what version of his name they used. It's Jair. It could be said as air. It could be said as hair. Or, for the Portuguese Spanish, it also could be translated as share. As it could have an SH sound. And I was like, great. That doesn't fucking help me at all. I was hoping they would be direct.
I'm pretty sure that we can throw that one out because they weren't in Portugal.
Yeah, there's like, it was, oh God, what was it? Portuguese, Spanish, And like the description was like is used in some parts of South America, and I was like, well, I don't really know which one we're just gonna go with air because I know J's and H sound in Spanish, so I assume it's probably more closely to the air as they put it, is that it sounds like air, but it does have the J. It's a whole thing. It's a strange name. I don't know why you'd. Hey, different countries, different names, but like it's a
side note
name.
from Cerebral Paul. Jokey is spending way too much time worrying about this. Okay. He's like somebody from Argentina is going to be like sending us messages going,
yes,
no,
yes, they will.
You did it wrong.
Yes, they will. I will hear about the issues of when I mispronounce things. All right, I know the internet. Anyway, yeah, he grabs Santiago. He grabs the youngest son. He grabs the oldest son. He puts him in the car. Can't find the keys though. So he ends up having to ask him. The kids find the keys. They get in the car. They're going to leave. And then we get another fucked up scene as the mom's hugging Vicky, and she's super happy. And Vicky leans in real close to her mom and goes, "Dad's gonna kill you." She goes, "What?" "Dad's gonna go home with the truck and go pow." And she brushes it off. She's like, I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. Leo comes back. Him and Pedro share a look for 1 second, and then he wheels his truck towards the house and literally kills the wife with a pure high-speed impact. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just fucking blood everywhere, and Pedro doesn't look back, doesn't say a word, he just drives. People try to rush out and stop him, he doesn't. It's just like, nope, I already know what happened. I tried to warn him, and I told him what was going to happen, he didn't fucking listen to me. I'm getting my kids out of here, because holy shit.
Oh. Well, now he wants to leave town. You know that?
Yeah, he's straight up leaving town.
I'm out. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh God, man, it is. Oof. So yeah. And also Leo sits up from his airbag. There's little things in this movie that help sell like the overall like possession of shit that's going on, because as Leo's like picking his head up from his airbag trying to like understand what the hell he just did, he looks over and they show you Vicky's doing like the happiest dance ever at everything that just happened. So it's very much like, immediately that girl's not the little girl anymore. Like all of this is very bad now. The brothers stop, they get their mom, and their mom thinks that all of this was planned by the ex-wife, Sabrina. She's like, "Oh, does she know you took the car and you're taking the kids to get ice cream?" Like, "Oh, this is so great. You guys are talking and communicating. Oh, this is great." Until she sees Jimmy being really weird.
I have to say, I do love the fact, because it's true, anybody who saw anything like this would always try to normalize it. I mean, there has to be a logical reason for what's happening. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Which to me, I mean, that's why this, Stephen King is very good at that in all of his stories.
Oh, 100%.
You're taking ordinary people, you're putting them in extraordinary circumstances.
Unextraordinary, yeah.
But they spend a lot of time trying to normalize it. Well, it can't be that. It's got to be this, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, but they try. They always try. So the mom like thinks that they're just going to ice cream or whatever, but she sees Jimmy looks distraught, and she thinks they're going to a wake. She's like, "Oh God, we're not going to like a funeral or a wake or something, are we?" And they're like, "No, just get in the car. We'll explain."
I mean, theoretically, in this movie, it could be yours, but
God. This is the thing. I don't understand their logic. I guess for me personally, I don't understand their logic here. Considering like how the evil finds you, whatever, they're going to the city.
right.
I guess maybe you'd find more help in the city, or maybe you'd hope that you could just get away. But also, there would be like so many electric cars, and like especially if this is gonna just continue spreading, I feel like the city would probably be like one of the worst places to be. But that's just me. that's just me.
I mean, maybe there's a big church in the city. I'd be like, I'm going to holy ground. I will see you all later.
Yeah, if only that were a thing in this universe, because we'll get to some things. But the mom doesn't believe him, because they try saying that they saw a possessed one and things that have been happening, and the mom's like, that doesn't happen. That only happens in cities. That doesn't happen out in the middle of nowhere like this. We're safe from all that. You boys just... You think you saw something, but you didn't see anything. Come on now. Because she doesn't believe them, she starts listing off the rules. Because the youngest son is very curious of what these rules are. So she lists off all of them. She really messes up, though.
And the brothers will be going, yeah, did that one. Yep, did that one twice.
Oh, the whole time you see them making mental checks of like, shit. Shit. Like, nope, all of these have been broken half of that. Shit. But no, even the mom technically fucks up here. It's a very small detail, but it's such a good detail in the overall of this movie, because she starts naming off the different names of the devil and demons. It's just like, oh, there's this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. And the youngest son's like, I thought you weren't supposed to name him. She's like, oh, my bad. Oh, well. Yeah, no, very bad. Because here's the thing, folks. Air is mentally not... How do I put that? Actually, I probably should have just looked at what he had. But I didn't look that up. Extremely autistic. I'll just put a bleep in. We'll just put a... Anyway, he doesn't really speak a whole lot, except when she says Azrael. Put a pin in that, because he keeps repeating that name specifically, and there's a detail coming up later that put a pin in that, because Grandma fucked up. Because as the rule says, never say their name. It will lure it to you. But the dad had said, we're going to go get ice cream. So they stop and they get ice cream. But then he's mad because they don't have apple ice cream, which, what the fuck is apple ice cream? I've never heard of apple ice cream before.
I don't know. I mean, it could be a thing. I mean,
it might just be. It's probably just a flavor that's common.
A regional thing. Yeah, a regional thing. Yeah.
Which it shows that it's green later, so I guess that makes sense. But I didn't know they made apple ice cream. I've heard like just apple.
Of course, I don't see why not. I mean,
I don't know. I don't see why not either. I don't know. It was a very specific thing. Although Sergeant Redacted's brother's kind of like this, so I get it. Once someone like that gets it in their mind of something that they like, that is the thing. So apple ice cream is the thing he wants, which becomes a problem because he starts acting up, and they're like, Pedro tells him, is like, no, we gave him a popsicle, but that's not what he wanted. He's not going to calm down unless we can somehow find apple ice cream, which they don't. They just kind of have to deal with it, and they figure out how to move past that. But while they're here getting ice cream, they get a call from Sabrina, and Pedro tells them, that's not your mom. Give me the phone. That's no. He gets out, he talks to her. She just goes into a full-on rant about how she cheated on him because she hates him, and everyone hates him, and his sons hate him, and that she knows where he is and she's going to come get her children. He breaks the phone, breaks down crying. Jimmy comes out and is asking him what happened, and Pedro tells him, like, that's not Sabrina. I literally watched her die. I watched her get fucking flattened by the truck back at the house. There's no way that's Sabrina. I don't know what's going on. I can't explain anything that's going on. I feel like I'm just going crazy.
It's like they all forget about this legend that they've heard of their entire lives.
Yeah, it's like everyone's kind of forgotten about anything. But Jimmy tells him that there is an older woman who lives just outside of town, in between here and the city, who can help them, who has been through something like this before, and she could probably give them an idea of what to do. And at the worst case, and like at best case, whatever, like she has money she can give them so they can get to where they're going. So that's the plan. They're just going to go there and then go to the city. Fun fact, they don't make it to the city. So they reach this house and we're introduced to Mirta. And Mirta is just this older woman who Jimmy had known from schooling. And so she's like, yeah, you can stay here. There's no electric lights. I don't do anything at all. There's just candles. There's a fireplace. You can stay here as long as you like. I have the room for everyone. Or if you want to continue going, up to you. But I have the rooms if you'd like it. Jimmy makes the point of like, hey, we're exhausted. We should probably at least stop for the night. Like, just recoup a little bit, my guy. So, boy, oh boy. Jimmy and Marta start talking. This is where we get more of the backstory to kind of what happened with Pedro. Because Sabrina on the phone had mentioned that air was broken and you wanted to get rid of him. You're a horrible father. And inside here, Mirta brings up, isn't he the one that like clogged a heater intake or something? And he goes, that was something his ex-wife had said to get custody of the kids, and talking shit on someone's free, so everyone did it. He didn't actually do that. That's just an unfortunate thing, that an accident happened. He even looks at the heater when he's back at the house as like, basically somebody put something against the heater, a house fire happened, almost killed Air and the rest of the family. The ex-wife blamed him because he was a drunk, and he never forgave himself for anything or, whatnot. And Jimmy's like, he's not actually like that. He actually very much loves his family. Don't believe everything you hear. She also asks him about, like, so are you sure you saw a possessed one or rotted one? And Jimmy's like, well, I think. And she goes, no. If you see one, it is not a I think. You would know if you saw one. He's like, well, I don't know what I saw. I can't explain it. Also can't explain any of this shit that's been happening. So maybe just fucking accept that you did. Like, I don't know why you're trying to deny what you saw, my friend.
I'd be like looking at her thinking that going, he was really bloated and green and gooey. And it was like trying to hold silly putty in my hand, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Pretty sure. But everyone settles in for the night. Grandma takes the youngest son, Santillo.
By the way, I wanted to say real quick, I'm surprised that when they tell her the story of everything that they've done and been through, she doesn't go, you have to be fucking kidding me. We've warned you your entire life not to do all of this shit, and you did all of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Jimmy.
I would have been,
unfortunately.
and I would get out of my house. Just go. No, don't bring that shit here. Yeah, just kidding.
Yeah, I would have too. I agree. So yeah, everyone's tucked in for the night. But Sabrina arrives. She's come for the children. And the first one she goes for, the youngest son, Santino. She just heads straight upstairs. And she picks him up and starts, like, kind of cradling him around in the room. And Grandma wakes up and she goes, "Oh, I took my sleeping pills. I'm not quite awake. So glad you're here. The kids they're going to be so happy you finally got here." Until she catches a glimpse of her face that is just smushed and shredded. And she goes, "I don't think that's Sabrina. I don't know who or what that is, but I don't think that's Sabrina." So yeah, she goes downstairs. She gets everyone. She tells Pedro and Jimmy, like, "Yeah, I thought it was her, but I don't think it is. Whatever it is has Santino. I don't know who it is." Yeah. Pedro runs upstairs and makes the mistake of trying to stop her as she jumps out the window and takes off with Santino. This is all bad here because now he tries to go get the son and Jimmy's freaked out. Mirta knows what's going on now. She's fully caught up after this incident of like, oh no, I know exactly what's fucking happening. And she's outside. She sees the cars covered in blood because Sabrina like marked it all over up in blood because she's a zombie now. Jimmy goes to get air out of the car. And this, Mirta notes something here. She notices his hands they're like contorting and acting strange. And she tells Jimmy, the demon is in that child. And he goes, no. He's just, he has issues. That's just how he is. She goes, no. Look at his hands and feet. So they do, and that's when you see them starting to like contort and twist. And she goes, when a demon gets, her quote here is that I noticed this in extremely autistic people before. When the demon enters their mind, their brains are not wired the same, and the demons get confused at how to control the body and instead trap themselves. How long it will be there is always uncertain. They could be there for a long time. They could be there for a short time before gaining control. But I can tell you by the way his feet and hands are contorting, the demon is already there, which, again, harkens back to fucking Grandma naming off demons, as he said Azrael multiple times, meaning that the demon that is about to be born in this movie here is Azrael. And she named him off, and the child saying it lured him to his mind. But now he's trapped. She goes, that's something. Like, there's not really any saving him, but on the plus side, the demon doesn't know what to do with him. So, like, hey, there's that. It's a little fucked up, don't you think? It's like, but she brings Pedro back inside and she explains to him that the reason Sabrina has come and taken the children and done what she's done, she straight up tells him, she's like, it's rule number 7. Do not fear death. She goes, it's not just death. Anything you fear at all, the demon will feed on, and it will use that against you. Your biggest fear? Losing your children. That is why she came for your children, because that is your biggest fear, and they are going to use that. And he goes,
she flat out told you I'm going to go after your child.
Yes. Yeah, and Pedro, like any kind of good father, is like, no, I'm going to go get my fucking kid from the zombie demon, whatever the hell that was. And she tells him, like, no, you stay, because if you go after him, and you go after her, things will get worse, because that is what you fear. It will continue to do so. So Jimmy offers to do that. She also then asks, where was the rotted one? Do any of you know? They're like, yeah, we know where it's at. And she's like, okay, good. Yeah, we kind of moved him. I'm sorry, you what? They're like, yeah, Ruiz wanted it gone, so we moved him. She straight goes, you guys are fucking idiots. You never, ever, ever, ever move the rotted one. Like, no. That was a horrible mistake. Like, it doesn't matter you touched the sheets. You touched the evil. That's all that mattered. It doesn't matter you had a sheet between you. No. You were possessed the minute you touched that. So basically they learned they fucked up touching anything in the room at all. Because it turns out, as Myrta pulls out a bunch of things in a trunk, she is a cleanser. Like, she is someone who used to go and deal with these kinds of things. And she tells him, like, you need to take me to the rotted one so I can get rid of it. This is what we call an abortion of their birth, because we are going to stop it. She's like, it is a rotted one because a demon is rotting them from the inside to be born.
I'm fine. I just had to readjust. I was sliding out of my chair.
I was making sure you were right. Just making sure.
Yep.
So they head off. Jimmy goes to go find Santino and Sabrina. Pedro and Myrta head off towards the town. They notice that the town's lights are completely off, meaning that a demon protocol is in effect, where all electricity has been cut, and everyone is being told to hunker down and not answer doors. This is where Myrta gives the entire lore drop of what this universe is, and it is a very unique and interesting take. It's one of the things that makes me kind of like this movie is the way they have set this up. So Myrta talks about they ran a church a long time ago. And what they do with this church is they would say they had a possessed or rotted one, and then they would exorcise it to bring people into the church and continue making money off people that were coming. She goes, we broke faith because a rotted one showed up at our church, a real one, and we thought it was an actor until he threw up his entire family he'd eaten. And we realized it was a real rotted one and that we had made a horrible mistake. A bunch of monks came and they taught them this is how you kill the demons so that they aren't born. She goes, we broke faith and churches were no longer relevant. Basically, because we faked being these demon killers, we invited the real demons there, and which in turn caused all churches to be completely worthless because now the demons were just welcomed into the world. So for 12 years, we roamed around the world, killing every rotted and possessed one that came to be to make up for us killing God in faith. This was our mistake. And Pedro tells her, so do you don't think it's a coincidence that this rotted one showed up where you were? And she goes, maybe. It could have very well come for me finally. Who knows? He goes, well, why didn't it come for you? Oh, well, that's easy. Rule number 7. I don't fear death. It has no reason to be able to find me. I was like, damn. So yeah, there's two things here. The state not knowing about things for a year, not doing anything about it, letting it fester, leads to that story point of like, very well there could have been corruption going on of that's exactly what they wanted. And then there's also the second part of with Myrta of that it could have also just been that the demon finally found the person who had been stopping it for so long and came to finish the job to be able to be born. two different things that are likely the reason behind things in this this whole scenario. But either way, things are about to get not good for anybody. Mirta and Pedro head to the police station, or not the police station. They're headed off back into town to try to find exactly where the rotted one ended up. Meanwhile, Jimmy finds Sabrina, finds Santino. It's too late. Sabrina's just making some trail mix out of Santino's brain. And see that she's just kind of eating him as she walks. So unfortunately, little boy, he's already dead. She killed him almost immediately. And Jimmy decides, well, I can't stand this anymore. And he crashes into her and runs her into a tree. And just says, fuck it, just kills her. Oh, God. While this is going on, back at the house, boy, oh, fucking boy. Grandma's not feeling great. Like, she's extremely worried and scared because she realizes that they definitely saw what they think they saw. And I think even she realizes saying the names that she did earlier, she probably really fucked up. So she's a bit scared. And then it gets made worse because Air walks into the house. And he's acting normal. Like he's walking, he's talking, it's as if nothing's wrong at all. And he says that he'd like it if she could make a hot drink. Maybe some tea because he feels a bit chilly. He doesn't want to catch a cold. Nice little detail here, which I do appreciate because it is a nice little little thing that they do for how this movie ends. He grabs a wolf skin blanket and throws it on because he's a wolf in sheep's clothing as he walks behind Grandma and gives her a nice little rub on the shoulder. It's like, yeah, if you could make that'd be great. You know, just I don't want to catch a cold. Thanks, Grandma. And Grandma's sitting there holding her religious necklace like, oh no. Oh, God help me. Fun fact, he doesn't. So
Wow.
So Pedro and Mirta, they arrive at a school, and it's like dark, desolate, deserted. They're not seeing anyone when they're looking around. And Mirta tells he thinks that maybe they're already too late, and Mirta tells him, no, you still hear birds and crickets. If the evil was actually born, the first thing it does is it eats nature. She's like, there wouldn't be birds, there wouldn't be crickets. All the sound would just be dead silent. So it's a good sign that we're hearing something. They look through the window. They notice all the kids are sitting in the classroom. Just sitting there. They're staring at a blank chalkboard, just kind of waiting around. And Mirta tells Pedro.
Real quick, I got a question again. Okay, so you're dealing with a demon, so let's go where there's a lot of children.
Well,
what the hell are they thinking?
You know, I honestly, like, I think this might be like, this is one of those things where, like, this is near where the body was, so they're hoping that maybe this is just kind of where it ended up.
Hey, have any of you kids been poking a dead body with a stick? To anyone? Bueller?
Yeah, the evil here has possessed all the children. They are now under its control. They're basically his bodyguards while he festers and does what he's going to do. They try to ask the kids about if they've seen anything, and the kids don't give them any answers. There's a kid who starts riding a bike up to the school, and Pedro tries to stop him and ask him. He doesn't answer. comes back out and he tells him, "Oh yeah, he's up the way. He's up that way where like the roundabout is. There's like a little entrance covered by trees. He's right in there." Pedro doesn't even think twice. He's like, "Okay, good." He gets in the truck. He's like, "All right, we got to get up there." And Myrta stops him. She goes, "That's clearly a trap. The children aren't normal." She goes, "I could smell it on their breath. The smell of decay and evil. Wherever it is they're sending us is a trap. There's going to be someone or something waiting for us. We can't go there." And he goes,
I used to work at schools. Kids always smell like that. I'm just saying.
That's what the fuck? No, Paul, no. What the fuck? No. What the fuck? So yeah, Myrta tells him they can't. There was a little girl who was kind of trying to be cooperative. As she runs out, she tells him, no, it's actually at her house that her father found him, and he was going to heal him, and got to get up there and stop him. Pedro loses his fucking shit here and just starts bitch slapping the hell out of this little girl, calling her everything under the sun. I'm just like, tell me the truth, you fucker. Just, God damn it, just tell me what's going on. Just loses it. And Myrta tells him, if they're trying to send us everywhere but here, the rotted one is here. Like, he's being hidden here. They're trying to send us away to get murdered somewhere else. We can't leave. And they notice that all the kids have some kind of white dust all over them. So when they go back into school, they look for that. They end up in the theater, and they see that the stage area is all covered in this dust that the kids have on them, and they realize this is where he's hidden. Somewhere in this room is where he's hidden. Pedro notices the hammer and some loose floorboards on the stage, so he peels them up, revealing that all the parents and teachers are buried under the theater stage. And the little girl comes back, and she tells them that they covered everything in lye to try to cover up the smell of the bodies, but that all the parents and teachers are dead because they tried to stop them, and that they have to leave or they'll die too. And Myrta tells Pedro, don't listen to anything she says. Anything they say is going to be a lie because they are trying to protect it. Do not listen to them. Do not pay attention to them. All the kids are at the door, and she tells Pedro to go to the truck, go get the tools and the kit. Do not run. Do not make a scene. Be careful, but walk very calmly, very slowly to the truck, and same thing coming back in. And they shouldn't harm you as long as you are not making it seem like you are in a rush. If you seem like you're in a rush, it's going to trigger the demon's defense mechanism, and these kids will murder us. So he calmly goes to the truck, grabs the tools, comes back. Fucking Pedro, man. Like, this man might be one of the dumbest people in a fucking horror movie ever. Because she says all this, and he just throws it out the window as they're peeling up the floorboards. And he's trying to get the rotted one up because he does find Uriel's buried underneath. And Uriel starts taunting him. It's like, hey, man, this is all your fault. Which, to be fair, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Technically, it is all their fault.
It really is, yeah.
It really is. None of this would have happened. And, so Uriel keeps taunting him, and then the little girl tells him, oh, you can't get him out of there. You need to remove more floorboards. Well, there's an axe over in the principal's office there. If you just go in there in a red box, there's an axe. Mirta tells this man like 4 fucking times, stop listening to her. It's a trick. They're trying to get me isolated. Do not leave this room. This stupid bastard goes into the office, immediately sees the axe is already missing. And of course, he gets trapped in there. They shut the door, they wire it shut.
At what point, none of these people's heads going, damn, I should have listened.
Yeah. So, and in case you haven't caught on, Mirta fucking dies now. Like, they swarm and murder this woman immediately. Pedro breaks like the glass door on like the glass on the door, unwraps the wire on the handles, gets out. Just as he sees Mirta being dragged off and the kids smashing her face in with a hammer and purposely smirking at him while they do it. Because again, the demons feed off fear. And he has fear because he knows he cannot do this thing without her. So now that she's gone, there's no fucking way of stopping what is about to happen. And he even, he does try, he thinks maybe I can, until he sees that they've also smashed all of the equipment. So everything he needs is now just in pieces and broken to shit. So yes, folks, you guessed it. You guessed exactly what happens here as Uriel calls out to him, Pedro, you messed up. And the demon is born, and a bloody fucking child walks up from the stage, walks up to Pedro, who's on his knees, and marks him. What do I mean by marks him? Wipes its bloody hand across his forehead, which marks him, which from what I found with the director was a symbolism to the mark of Cain, just a thing that they did
biblical
there, which is
stuff,
a nice touch. It was a nice little touch to be like, yeah, no, this demon's just straight up like, yeah, no, you messed up, like, I'm not going to kill you, but, like, forever you will be marked as, like, I'm going to come for you at some point. And, yeah, the demon walks off into the fucking sunrise with the kids, and just, that's the end of that. The demon is born. The ending of this movie is that Pedro was just absolutely defeated. Goes back to the house where they were staying, and grabs his brother and grabs his son Hare. They go back to their house. Also, Jimmy has to tell him, like, Sabrina's dead and she ate Santino. I don't know how else to put it, bro. He was dead when I found him. There was no saving that child. Very unfortunate. The ending of this movie is such a no happy ending to an extreme. Because here's the thing, folks. It's one thing to say not a happy ending because the demon's born, meaning that just the end of days is now going to happen because Azrael is just risen up and he's going to do God knows what now that he's free. This movie takes it a fucking step further.
Yeah.
They get back to the house. There's apple ice cream. He gives it to his son. Pedro sits in front of the fire just contemplating everything that happened. He takes a shower. Again, the stains on his forehead don't come off. He realizes that that's a part of him now. He's been marked by a fucking demon. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Jimmy goes out to the barn and finds the son from Elena is still there. He never went home. And this is where we get the reveal where he goes, there was voices in my head that told me to do it. I killed the cleanser from before and I fed him to the pigs. I also ate part of his body. And Jimmy asks him, well, what about your mother? She didn't really run away, did she? What happened to her? The same thing that's happened to your mother. Cut back inside. Pedro comes over to Air, who is choking And he takes the spoon and he goes, well, you shouldn't eat your ice cream so fast. Like, come on, breathe, take a breath. Until he starts coughing up blood. And Pedro reaches into his mouth and starts pulling out hair. A bunch of hair. And he gets horrified as Air spits out his grandmother's necklace. The same religious necklace we had seen her fiddling with. Because he fucking ate her. Because the demon makes you eat people that you love. And it's super fucked up. So the ending of this movie is Pedro walking outside. Jimmy walking up to him to try to go back inside. And Pedro just defeated, falls to the ground, screams at the entire world. Because everyone he's ever cared about and loved are fucking dead. Except for Jimmy. But Jimmy's so broken, like they have nothing.
You know, they missed something.
Nothing.
They missed something they could have done here. They could have made Jimmy the one that they could have made it Jimmy Eats World. I'm just saying.
But yeah, that's that movie. The demon's born. Every single person in their family is now dead. The last son is possessed. So, I might be going out on a limb. I forgot to double check. I think it's kind of implied that he killed Air. That he walks outside because realizing his son was possessed. I think they're kind of implying that he murdered him inside, and the reason he stopped Jimmy from going in is like, don't go in there.
Yeah,
like,
you're not going to want to see what's in there.
Yeah, you're not going to want to see what I just had to do because it's bad. So yeah, that's the ending of this movie. No happy ending. Demon born and everyone's dead except the two brothers who the demon apparently let live just to torture them. That is the whole thing there. It's like, yeah, you tried to stop me? Well, I'm not going to kill you. However, you are going to live with all of this horrible shit. So, like, enjoy that. But that is when Evil Lurks. I would say just go watch it. I'm not super demon-possessed movies. This movie just has it's such a fun concept.
Well, and it doesn't get tied up on the whole demon possession thing either, in the same sense that most of them do.
It really doesn't. Like this, I love the concept of this movie of that this is just a world where somebody fucked up and made all the churches irrelevant and then also at the same time made demons be able to come about. The effects are great. The story overall, it's pretty easy to follow. It has a lot of just, as we talked about in here, there's a lot of like little tidbit things that happen that are like, remember this specific part? This is why this little thing was in this scene, is because now it becomes relevant to this person's death or this person's possession. Like, there's a ton of things to love about this movie. I very much enjoy it. I would suggest you go watch it. And also, folks, that's the end of our Oddtober. That's all foreign horror films. So, we got Train to Busan, you got The Sadness, Wreck, When Evil Lurks. There's still technically another one that I'm saving. I'll do at some point.
Okay, so before we listen for wrapping, this is the last one for the series. Of your four, what is your favorite? Of the four, what is your favorite of this set?
Oh. Honestly, I think it's a tie between this and Train to Busan. I think those two are the two that like I think I enjoy the most with how they use their concepts.
See, and for me, it would be actually the other two. Train to Busan and The Sadness, especially The Sadness. I think The Sadness probably tops my list for these four. All right.
I mean, I enjoy all of them.
I know there were some parts of The Sadness that made you really go, ugh, God.
There's just like, oh, what the fuck, man? It seems like a movie my dad made. I swear to God, that would be something he would make, because he would be that depraved in everything. I've read his books. I know how fucked up he makes things. See, it's the sadness with everything he writes. Everything's that messed up.
You want to stick it where? Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Spoilers for anyone, but not that I don't want to promote my dad, because 100% I love the shit he writes. But I would say go look up Fiend Gotts over on Amazon. He has a ton of short stories. There's actually a short story he did where there was a dude where he has him like tied to a bed frame naked, and the dude who's torturing him at one point like cuts off his ear, chews it, and then baby birds it back into that guy's mouth and makes him swallow. Yeah. My dad does that kind of shit. We're like, oh, you thought that this fucked up? Well, I'm going to like 10 times that of the next thing I do. It's just like, Dad, what?
No,
what happened to you when you were younger? Jesus Christ, man. But seriously, like if you want something like that, go check him out, and check these movies out. Seriously, give these movies love, because just god damn, man, foreign horror knows how to do shit better than we do. So much better. But anyway, so with this movie, we already set all the rules for those, so you already know what to do in that situation. But if you're not, you never go to a witch for revenge. You never betray the puppets. You never, ever prank your friends as a serial killer. Always pay attention on an airplane. Red eye was so frustrating of like, how the fuck do you just not pay attention in such a confined space? Don't go in the water. Don't bring things back from the dead. Pay attention to when people say things, like not breaking rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll about cover it, because a lot of those could also help you with some of the other movies. Unless you end up in one like The Sadness, and then you're just done for. I would say there's rules for that one, but there's really
isn't. No.
You're just kind of done for, and I'm sorry for you. But yeah, so tune in next time. I have no idea what next time will be. Who knows? We'll figure that out. Also, I would say, I just want to tell everyone, go check out What an Oddcast, my main podcast that I do, because there is an extra bad taste this month. That's right, folks. By the time you're seeing this, it's already come out. But there was an extra one I did. I pulled Anthony in for Wrong Turn 4. We continued. Also, I traumatized Mike by accident, even though I told him multiple times, hey, so you're not really a horror guy. This week is an off week for you. Don't watch this movie. Me and Anthony will cover it. Let me tell you, folks, the day before we were recording, we got a message from Mike of that we ruined his lunch and he was now traumatized. And we both went, we told you like 10 times, hey, don't watch this movie. This is your off week. You did it to yourself. We told you for a reason. What the fuck? But anyway, stay odd, stay happy. Happy Oddtober, happy Halloween. Hope you're all enjoying your month. Goodbye, everyone.